Last week, just like Velma Kelly, Britney Spears took the stand. She spoke on her own behalf with more passion than she has ever been able to in her 12 years under her father's legal conservatorship. And she pleaded her case for her independence. And I just want to say, for everybody in Britney Spears' family who is not her current boyfriend, it's on site.
Even Jamie?
So,
yeah.
Even Jamie Lynn, okay?
What are you talking about? What
we go get into her. We go get into Zoe 101. Okay. Welcome to Keep It, Crooked Media's show about pop culture and politics and what happens when they smack into each other at an alarming speed. I'm your host, Ira Madison III, a television writer and Fall Out Boy fan.
I'm Louis Fertel. I'm a TV writer and Jane Fonda historian.
And I'm Aida Osman. I'm a TV writer and alleged comedian.
Let's get into it. First things first, we talked about the conservatorship before when we watched the Framing Britney Spears doc. As you all know, a conservatorship is a court case where a judge appoints a responsible person or organization to care for another adult who cannot take care of themselves or manage their own finances. And we all remember the era when Britney was put under the conservatorship, you know?
Which is a long ago era. We're talking 13 years ago.
2008.
Yeah.
No less than 7 million years ago.
Perez Hilton still had clicks. And when you said his name 3 times, he didn't appear in a mirror and ask you to pay attention to him. But
he hadn't yet apologized to Ellen for being mean or whatever it was. I actually do find Perez Hilton somewhat underrated historically in terms of tabloid culture. That said, he also could be mean. Anyway, moving along.
But I think everyone was so shocked to hear the audio of her in court because I don't know what any of us were expecting. You know, we've seen these Instagram videos that clearly her team makes her record where she sounds loopy, sounds like her voice is choppy. It seems like she's being held at gunpoint while making these Instagram videos.
The second question is, what's my shoe size? My shoe size is a size 7.
And she sounded so lucid and like coherent. And so I think that was what was most shocking to me. Speaking about wanting her independence, it sounded like a woman who knew exactly what she wanted.
I want changes, and I want changes going forward. I deserve changes.
Well, I feel 2 ways about it. I thought she was sometimes lucid and then sometimes like repeating the same phrase several times. Now, that did not make me discredit anything she said, but it was weird. It was like yet another Instagram video of hers, and that I had like 2 or 3 layers of analyses going on of like, is she okay even right now? Like but additionally, she did make her point. Like she went through it step by step, and I would say she did herself proud in that. Like we had as just onlookers, even casual onlookers, even people who aren't like avidly a part of the Free Britney movement, had lots of questions, and I think she answered most of them. So
yeah, definitely. I also think that I'm just now finding out from her testimony that her family had put her on lithium for many, many years. And I wonder if it doesn't seem like she's medicated at all when she's giving this testimony. It's so lucid. It's so clear. She knows exactly what she's saying. Like you said, Louis, I think the only times I saw maybe cracks in the armor was when she would bring up like Paris Hilton or Miley Cyrus, or just hearing the kind of like justified resentment she had held for what she'd had to see throughout these 13 years of the conservatorship was making me mostly just sad. Not distrusting or questioning, but you could see the moments where the emotionality was coming out. And I'm actually surprised she was that stoic, that able to speak.
Right. Yeah, after all those years of build up specifically, but specifically about how it made me feel sad. Like, for instance, this last weekend was Pride weekend. I went in San Francisco and New York. I ended up hearing a lot of Britney Spears music this weekend. And like, while I'm appreciative of that fact, a part of me also didn't want to listen to her music after all this. It was like it was just too sad in a way. I don't know. It's like I wanted to celebrate her, but not like that in a way, because like the music reminded me of the work she had to do, and like and I don't know how much of that she really wanted to do, even though during her testimony she talked about being a pro and choreographing her tours that she had to do and things. It was just I was so conflicted about her as a performer at all, having to perform, that hearing her music again felt jarring.
Shameless plug here really quickly, but my episode of Betty came out, and we had written a scene where some of the girls are dancing to Toxic by Britney Spears. And at the time, we was like, oh, Britney gonna get that money, in our heads, not being fully aware of the conservatorship. And now watching my episode back and seeing the girls dancing to Toxic, a beautiful moment, wonderful, ethereal, go check it out. But I'm like, damn, that stupid father of hers got all that money. Whatever it is, the little sync money, the little placement money that the Britney estate got, it's devastating. And that man could full die. I hate her dad so much.
Well, I mean, that's a thing that happens with a lot of music, right? It's like whatever your feelings about, like Dr. Luca Kesha's situation, right? You want to be like, I'm not supporting any of his new music that he's making, to make a point. But then it's anytime you listen to like a classic song that wasn't a Max Martin song in like the 2000s in pop music, it was usually a Dr. Luke song. So if you're listening to like Since You've Been Gone, he's still getting his coins.
Which girl we are. So reevaluate the playlist.
Oh, I will be listening to Since You've Been Gone. I'm listening to it now.
Mouthing. You've been mouthing the lyrics the whole time.
But that's the thing, it's like you wonder how much money Jamie is making off of this. It's like Blackout, her seminal album, the one the fans keep coming back to and saying is perfect, even though In the Zone and Femme Fatale made some points. Blackout is the one that specifically, like, there's always the jokes that, like, did she even know what was going on when she was recording this, right? And I'm like, she probably didn't.
And that's technically before the conservatorship when she recorded that album?
Yeah, that was the era that led to the conservatorship.
Got it. Right. Because I know she's recorded 3 albums technically under the conservatorship, and that is not one of them. So.
Britney Jean is all Jamie's fault.
No, wait.
Clearly. Teaming her up with Will.i.am. Come on.
Oh, no, wait, excuse me. Are we talking about Scream and Shout? Because I've already defended that show on this air.
No, Scream and Shout is good, but because of the success of Scream and Shout, the entire album, Britney Jean, was then produced by Will.i.am, and it is better than you remember, but it is a mess.
But does that have Perfume on it?
It does. Perfume,
because
and Alien.
Perfume, the vocals to me sounded like maybe they were recorded backwards first and then played back forwards. I do kind of like that song.
Also, I think, of course, the whole thing is painful to hear. The whole story is painful. I think hearing Britney talk about the fact that her children were kept from her, she wasn't allowed to remove her IUD, which, what in the Dr. Kevorkian, what in the Frankenstein's monster, like, that's medieval Victorian practices. It's just evil. It's so evil. And
Did she not tack that onto the end of her
Yeah,
testimony too? It was like this third act. What? Like really unbelievable.
I think what's really interesting about this is at a certain point within the conservatorship, like once Britney sort of moved to like the Vegas show, and like it became it sort of became a given that she was just sort of like, oh, she's spending time with her family. Like she is out of the like regular being a celebrity life, and now you sort of get that wasn't really of her own accord. And Aida.
Carry on.
And you get that from people like Christina Aguilera making a statement about, how she supports Britney, and about how like no woman should ever have her independence or rights taken away from her like this. And it's so many of Britney's contemporaries, people she probably was friends with prior to this, have had no contact with her for like over a decade.
Yeah.
At least. She's had no contact with other people who know what she's going through. When she was even talking about how she can't even have contact with the friends she's made in AA, it's like it reminds you that like this woman has no contact with anyone in the outside world. Like she's fucking Princess Peach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a miracle that she's able to, like, with the clips we've seen of her mothering her children and doing an amazing job at it. Like, it's a miracle. She's such a strong person to be able to have the wherewithal to like keep going on.
And the reason I say fuck Jamie Lynn was because she given a little statement being like, I don't want to be accused of anything. Like this conservatorship, has like nothing to do with me, doesn't affect me. I don't care. Britney, like wants to run out to the jungle or something, have like 1,000 kids. I'm like, you sound flip about a situation that has paid you. Like I'm sorry, nobody is living off of Zoe 101 checks, okay?
Yeah, but you know what? We have to consider that if Britney's gone through that level of abuse, I can't even imagine what the younger sister has gone through as well. Maybe it's a quieter abuse. But for the first headline article I read to be like, Lynn speaks out about the conservatorship, and she says, not that I owe the public anything. Like, to preface it with that, I know something is wrong. Like, you are not of the right mental, you're not there. You're not fully there. So, honestly, fuck her, but also.
Yeah, listen, I would love, Zoe to enroll into Zoe 201, find out what's really going on.
Don't let Miranda Cosgrove hear you talking like this, okay? Because this is what she, not taking her whole
Listen, I would never go against my queen, Miss Cosgrove, because the new iCarly is actually it. It is. It's very funny. Lacey Mosley is hilarious on it as usual. And also, I've been a Miranda Cosgrove, like, low-key, like, stand for a minute. She's got some bops.
Sparks Fly? Yes, they do.
Yes, Sparks Fly. Also, Face of Love, this song that she made off this, like, EP that Dancing Crazy was initially on, like, is not on Spotify, but it's on Apple Music. It's it. And she made the song Sayonara with Greg Kurstin from The Bird and the Bee, one of my favorite fucking music producers. He's worked with Kelly Clarkson, Pig, everybody. He's the one who did mostly all of Nick Jonas's Spaceman album, which is why it's so good. So,
cult classic.
Isn't it crazy that Nick Jonas will one day pass away and he'll be at the gates of heaven and somebody will almost welcome him in, and then they will say, "Oh wait, it says here you rhymed jealous with hellish." Straight to the underworld. Straight to the underworld, bitch.
Wow. First of all, he fixed it by doing a cover of the whole song with a full black gospel choir. Okay, that's where he rectified. That's where he fixed it. That's repenting, Louis.
I want him being escorted out of heaven as Tinashe is going into heaven, and she's like, "Nick J," and he's like, "Tinashe."
As Lil Nas X ascends, yes, right.
Yeah.
If we're talking about guiding lights in terms of conscience and reason, we must turn to Justin Timberlake, who
sanctify him, Louis. Yes.
He went on a long tweet spree in the way that Christina Aguilera did. Also, obviously, all three of these people are former Mickey Mouse Club members, and he said things he should say, like no woman should ever be restricted from making decisions about her own body. But he also started his post by saying, regardless of our past, good and bad, girl, who cares about your past? Stop bringing you up.
That is why I didn't care for his initial apology to Britney and Janet. And here in his statement of support for Britney, he still has to be like, please don't drag me for the stuff I did. Like, bitch, just shut up.
Also, is he bringing up that she cheated on him? Like, who cares? Not germane. Stop talking about that.
Also, I don't believe he believes a woman should do whatever she wants with her body, because otherwise he wouldn't have the song "Rock Your Body."
Exactly.
You mean the song that I famously believe ended with I'm gonna dip your naked body into this sauce when it's I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song, guys. What is wrong with me?
Baby, clean your ears.
Also, Louis, you can clean my ears. Not you saying Jermaine and me going, what did Dupree say about this?
Right? Did you hear like a version of the song for BW3s or something?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've realized some people don't know that Buffalo Wild Wings is
yes.
BW3s. They don't call it that some places.
We just call it B-dubs.
That and Buffalo Wild Wings. Though if I say B-dubs, you shouldn't hear those words coming out of my mouth is all I'm saying. Something's wrong.
Put it on your headstone.
That's what I used to call Brian Wilson.
That's
God.
well,
B-dubs when we used to hang out.
You
know.
You know what? Most importantly, what did K-Fed say?
K-Fed, I don't know, girl.
The most important opinion.
Popozao.
I am ashamed to admit I was trying to just think of that word just now, and I did not have it. Thank you for having Papa Zao right on the tip of your tongue.
That song was a bop.
I don't know about that. Did I say that?
Okay, first of all, listen. I mean, you're not gonna get Popo Zao the first time you hear it. Okay? I mean, it's not like anything you've ever.
It has to
heard
grow
before.
on you.
Girl, it's like Finnegan's Wake, bitch. I better read it a second
and
time.
third time, you know, you're gonna be
For
like,
comprehension.
"Whoa, what is this? This is great."
My mic has fully fallen over. Like you just sent me into a state I should not have been in. Okay.
I think I've admitted on this podcast before that I've seen Kevin Federline live.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you loved it. You pre-ordered tickets.
During the Popo Zao era, he did a concert at the House of Blues in Chicago.
There was a while where any white man with a fitted hat and a long shirt could not escape the Kevin Federline comparison. At all.
Bubba Sparks still running from it. Yeah.
I wish my king, I wish Donnie Klang had avoided those comparisons because he was good. Do you remember Donnie?
Wait, who?
Donnie Klang. He was the white member in, he was the white singer on the Making the Band where he created the boy group, Day 26.
No, I don't remember that, but naturally you do. Thank you for that.
I still listen to his album, okay? He did what needed to be done.
I don't understand, Diddy. What is Day 26? Not even an equinox date. What is the thing? Why?
I don't know. Day 26 was the people in Making the Band 4 after Danny D. Kane was made. And they only got one album. So maybe they got two.
But I sing Showstopper every day. So prominence was achieved.
Of course, now the next step is it feels like this is going to progress in some sort of ugly way where we're going to be hearing from the other side about her, and I'm like bracing for that in a way. But
no, I'll tell you how it's going to end, Lewis. I've already bought my ticket. I've already bought my ticket with a few other freedom fighters, and we will be storming the mansion.
Got it.
I wasn't going to storm the. I feel like there's two types of Americans: the Americans who would storm the Capitol, and the Americans who would storm Britney Spears' mansion.